But football without fans is not. You play a football match without fans, is it not? It can be the greatest game in the world. If there are no people there to watch, it becomes nothing.
And to Johnson. Johnson. And a goal by Johnson. Larson. Oh, he's in. Henrik Larsson! That is sensational! Nakamura, he has done it! Isn't that just typical?
The game is over. The Rebels have won.
A star is born at Celtic!
Champions. That's who we are.
Yes!
Yes!
Yes! Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Jungle Gyms podcast. We've just witnessed Celtic beat Sevco, the Rangers tribute act in the VIAPLAY Cup final, and we won 2-1. A brilliant victory. Boys, how you doing?
Fucking superb, young man! Come on, man. What a day. Absolutely buzzing.
Brilliant. And for the most part, we dominated the game. A thoroughly deserved. Ange strikes first blood this season, and Michael Beale's tribute act faces a harsh reality check indeed. Guys, man of the match, Kyogo?
Johnson.
Andy?
Alistair Johnson, mate. I thought it was superb.
I don't know. It's a hard one, to be quite honest with you. I'll go with Kyogo.
I thought our midfield technicians, Aaron Moy, Hatate, McGregor, was the main difference in the first hour. And it's so pleasing to actually see three midfielders with comfortable in possession who can take the when they've got a marker to turn it and play it into forward passes. You know, I think that was the main difference in the first half hour, and that was the key to success for us. Hatate, I thought, was brilliant in the first hour. But Kyogo gets 2 goals, and again, he got the 2 goals in the last cup final as well against Hibs last year. So he certainly loves it. And new boys in the Celtic squad, this is a new experience for them, and they were certainly lapping it up. Aye, guys, fucking brilliant, man. I'm buzzing. Welcome to the viewers. Hope you're all fucking buzzing.
The other mob. Not bad for the other mob, huh? Get up,
Other mob. Aye.
Absolutely.
Sakala gets to go home with a runners-up medal. Boo fucking who.
To be fair, Michael Beale's first bit of silverware as a manager. Just unfortunately for him, it's a silver medal, so get it when you.
True, mate. Very true. Glasgow, green and white, and it was great whenever we held the trophy aloft. The other half of Hampden was completely empty. It was fucking dark, hollow. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And by the way, the banner right at the end, 22 trophies in 11 years. We set the standards. Love that, mate. Fucking love it.
Aye, superb. Just ready to be unfurled, just at the perfect time. You just brilliant. What a day. Brilliant.
Tell this guys though, whenever they got their goal, was it in doubt? What was your nerves like at that point?
I'm still all right, mate. I was feeling confident the day coming into the game anyway. I wasn't kind of swaggering and postulating as what they've been doing, but no, I was quietly confident. We got the 2 goals, obviously, absolutely delighted, and I could feel it in my push that was it. We're going to win it. They obviously got a goal back. It was a pretty poor goal to concede, to be honest with you. But no, I was still confident that we'd get the job over the line, get the job done. And aye, to be fair, the boys dug in deep. Something that we struggled with at times. It was good to see Ange bringing on a water and kind of showing that we had to be defensive. We needed a player there to come in and do a job, and we done it. Absolutely brilliant performance. At times we weren't the greatest, but you know what? Professional all the way. Did a job. Defended well at the back. The midfield won most of the battles. The forward guys were were top class. So, aye, absolutely delighted.
100%. And by the way, to the viewers, thanks very much. Get your comments coming in. Enjoy your runners-up medal, Sakala, 100%. Brilliant. And for the Red Scott, nice shiny losers medal for Sakala. More lost to accompany the half dozen pies he gets every week. Poor Alfie, he really thought that the game was back in, that the game was balanced again after he got his wee goal, but he goes home unhappy. Fantastic, mate, fantastic. Yeah, by the way, I've got to say, whenever they actually did get their goal, they never dominated at that point. The game became more chaotic, but we never lost our composure completely. There were moments where you're like, for fuck's sake, man, keep the heat and stuff like that. But they weren't overwhelmingly the better team in the last half hour. It was just much more 50-50, I felt, although a few wee scary moments. Let's take it back to the start. The lineup, no surprises there. Were Andy expecting any curveballs at all from Postecoglou, or do you think by this moment the team picks itself?
I think I pretty much said that. I think most people had picked that team, to be quite honest with you. So there wasn't really any surprises there. So I was quite happy to see Moy coming in, to be quite honest with you.
That was probably the only question, was it Moy or O'Reilly? But I think Moy, for his experience, his composure, his first touch, he should always get ahead of O'Reilly at this moment in time. Great. I spoke about our three midfielders, the technicians, Hatate, McGregor and Moy. It's great to see all of them in such really good form right now. And that was pivotal in our winner. Paddy, the subs, roughly about the hour, and then later on, do you think Postecoglou managed the squad well?
Oh, of course. You could see that Hatate was kind of, his levels were dipping a wee bit in terms of fitness, but the guy had put in some shift. Obviously brought on O'Reilly at a time when we were kind of struggling to keep possession of the ball, so he came in and did fairly well at that. Put himself about. That's all you can ask for. I mean, really, we should have won 4-1. You know what I mean? We should have buried at least 2 chances up at the very end, but that's what it is, isn't it?
And Kyogo had that heat. Kyogo had the heater in the first half, and he should have scored for that.
See the 2 chances right at the end, the 2 counter attacks from us. So it was Haksabanovic first. Who had the last one? Was it Haksabanovic again, or was it O? Where they put it by the left hand of the post.
That was no, it wasn't O.
Hacks over it.
Aye, it was. Aye.
Was it Hacks over the 2?
Aye.
Fair dues. Oh. Yeah, by the way, how important is it we brew first blood in this season with the silverware? Because if you look at it the other way, if they did get this trophy, although they probably wouldn't have managed to get the league, it would have kind of galvanised them in terms of gathering behind the mole for next season with a renewed kind of hope. But it's great that we've stifled that we've totally snuffed out that threat, and we can go through the rest of the season enjoying it. Obviously, wrap up the league when it comes around, when it becomes mathematically impossible, and then we can look forward to the Scottish Cup as well. I'm looking forward to the remainder of the season, guys. It's going to be much more entertaining. I love that. I fucking love it.
Well, it was actually a good point that you made there, mate, because obviously last season, when Andrew came in, you know, it was important for us to kind of try and draw first blood, and we managed to do that, winning the cup, and we galvanised a new team, and we put in place the building blocks for success, and obviously that was on the back of winning the first cup, because we had a bunch of new players, we had a new team, we had guys that hadn't had any success in Scotland as I get. Do you know what I mean? So for them to experience that, to experience winning under Ange was highly. It was integral to the success of last season. I think this season it would have been important for them to win the first cup of the season, because it would have almost been a wee bit the same in terms for them. Do you know what I mean? Trying to kind of bring a winner's mentality to their squad, take something back after us. Well, we're on the ascent as a squad, as a club, but we've just flexed our muscles. showed how good we are, and sent them home packing with a wee spank. Off you go, boys. Off you pop.
Brilliant, brilliant. Right, okay, so why don't we talk about the first half? The opening start, I felt it was kind of a composed possession from us. There wasn't much quality, perhaps, in the final third. I thought Maida was, I wouldn't say shiting it against Tavernier, but when he got deep down the left flank, he was running out of play a few times. A couple of crosses went like sky high. I felt Maida's quality at that part wasn't great. Overall, as a team, we were doing very well. I was encouraged by that. And the fact that they were trying to press us, we still played out back. And for the majority of the times, we were doing very, very well. There weren't really many skills in the open stages. And sometimes people say that these games can be won and lost by the way that the team starts, who gets the first goal. Were you encouraged by the open 20 minutes, half hour from Celtic?
I think we all know that Celtic always come out of traps, but in a couple of games against them, we kind of haven't. And it's went against us, but we certainly came out with our intentions clear, what we were going to do in that game. And just when you were talking about Maida as well, I thought he'd done all right, but he was a bit wasteful at times. I think he was kind of tripping over his own feet sometimes, and as you said, he was running out of space as well. But one thing you can't fault that guy on is pressing. He just, for every minute he's on the park, he's pressing somebody, he's pressed on them, he's putting them under pressure. And that's just as important as trying to put a ball in the box, as actually putting players under pressure, maybe try to make them a mistake. But I kind of think that we actually put ourselves under pressure at times as well. We just not close enough to each other, no quite, the passes weren't quite getting there. We were getting caught out in possession at times. And Starfelt looked a bit shaky at times. I don't want to pure. I mean, really, when you're winning cups, you don't want to put any negatives on it, but you need to call it as you see it, you know. I don't think Starfelt had a fantastic game. But overall, I think in the first half, we bossed it. I certainly think we bossed it. We didn't look under pressure, really, at any point.
First half, we did boss it. But see the thing about Starfelt? I thought Starfelt was having a really good game. Obviously, he looks kind of clunky and clumbersome, but I thought he was having a good game up until in the second half, where he had two moments of madness. One where the ball came in from across, and he had like a fresh air kick trying to clear it, and then like it went out for a goal kick. Hart passes it to Starfelt. Starfelt waits till the attacker comes towards him and tries to chip it over him and gives it straight to him. I'm like, what you doing, pal? What you doing? I was able to sing your praises up until that point. And you're right, a good point about Maida. Maida is like one of the last people that you want to take off for Celtic, because even if the quality might not always be there, Andy loves a free tap.
I got it after Shug dropped it after me last night for the boys and tour. So thanks, Shug, for that, mate. I appreciate it.
Maida, although he was a wee bit short in quality at times, it's one of the last people you want to take off because of his work rate. Paddy, I noticed early on, one sign I was very, very encouraged with, Moy chased down Lundstrom early on. You might not even remember it, but it was something that I was quite happy with, because Lundstrom normally bosses it physically wise, but Moy chased him down and he made a slide tackle to retrieve possession, and then he started up another attack. How would you assess Moy today? Obviously, he came off later on. He was perhaps culpable for their goal. We can discuss that, but how would you assess him overall today?
Well, we'll just start off with the goal. Obviously, it was a free kick for their number 2. The ball comes in, and you see Aaron Moy he gets caught in indecisive. It's as if he goes to header it and then kind of pulls himself back at the last second. Something you can't do when you're defending in your own box. So poor to lose that goal. But again, I thought Aaron Moy was superb. You see the experience that the guy brings in. I've harped on about it many a time now this season. The retention of the ball that guy brings to the team is second to none. He slows the game down in a sense that, no for slowing the game down, but he takes it. He just takes the ball. he creates space for others, because when he's got possession, he keeps possession very well. It opens up space for guys to move about. So he does that really, really well. He did it today. And as you've quite rightly said, mate, we've had issues playing that mob recently, in terms of being second best with physicality in the midfield at times. But we're seeing another side now to Celtic, and Aaron Moy's one of the guys that's bringing that. It's not even ferocity, it's no running about reckless, it's just being hard, it's being solid, it's being truthful, it's being every single tackle that you go in for, it's there to be won. You know what I mean? It's exactly what you want to see. It's a perfect blend of beautiful football, really, really good attack intent, but also that other side where you can roll your sleeves up, pull your socks up and get in and down and dirty in the mud with the rodents. So yes, more than delighted with his performance, mate. And honestly, I thought Alistair Johnson was absolutely superb. I know I wasn't kind of too sure about him at the start, but that boy was absolutely superb today. Talk about fight, mate. That boy had every single bit of fight in him today. He had players bouncing off him. He was getting in for slide tackles. He had the possession about him. He was going forward. Incredible.
I can't disagree about Alistair Johnson. I thought he was perhaps one of his maybe his best game for Celtic, maybe his best game in the hoops. The other thing I would say, we did get a call from Woodsy about the state of the pitch. I spoke about Moy, just to kind of finish off with the discussion about Moy. I said that the Hampden pitch could actually suit Moy. Obviously, for our style of play, you want the grass to be perfect and like well watered, slick passing and stuff like that, for us to kind of move the ball really quickly. But I think when it's a shite pitch, Moy can sometimes look head and shoulders above everybody, because it takes away, it nullifies other people's pace. I felt that if the pitch was slick, then maybe our midfield could run to an extent, and Moy could look a wee bit, it could look his age. But the fact that the pitch was so shit, it brought the pace of the game down a notch, and that allowed him to excel. It certainly stopped people running past him, like Tillman or Kent, who was up against. But yeah, I thought the pitch kind of worked in our favour, and we've got the better openers, the better footballing brains to kind of navigate that at the surface. Maybe it's just me, but that's what I felt anyway. However, for the remaining part of the first half, I felt that although we had the better possession, maybe kind of lacking that quality in the final third. Jota had a really good shot, which forced a save from McGregor and for Woodsy. See Fat Boy bouncing off AJ. Don't mess with hockey players, of course.
That's what I like about Johnson. He's up for a battle, isn't he? He's fully invested in challenges he gets into, and he's totally committed. That's what I love about him.
He doesn't shirk it. He's got a great attitude.
You saw it in the second half as well, didn't you? I can't remember exactly what minute it was, but somebody fouled him and he's just got up straight away and his finger right in the face. It's like what you fucking did. And I think it was Cholak. Cholak ran about 20 yards to go and kind of square up to him. And he was literally going to go ahead with two of them. So that's the kind of fight you want. That's the passion you want to see in your Celtic players.
Do you know what? Just when we were talking about the first half and stuff like that, was it Moy? Was Kamara? I'm not sure if he fouled Moy twice or another Celtic player. He certainly get Moy in one of them. That was two fouls in about 30 seconds, and the referee never even had one word with him about it. Obviously, he ended up getting booked, him and Lundstrom, and that's why they were taken off, because chances are they were going to get sent off because they were being so physical. But I was really I shouldn't be surprised that the referee never had a word with him, but he should have. Certainly, that was two challenges that were in about 30 seconds, and the referee never even said a word.
Leading up to the goal, which came in the 44th minute, Kyogo had a great three-header in the box. It came from an Alistair Johnson cross from the right-hand side, and I think we would all agree that he should have done. I don't know if he made contact with the wrong part of his face. I heard one commentator say that it came off his neck. I don't know, but it went over the bar. It was a free header. Andy, should he be putting that sort of thing?
Absolutely. Every day of the week, that should be a goal. Even if he had just kind of glanced it a wee bit, that went either side. Probably the furthest away side for McGregor was more space there, but he should be finishing that. That was a brilliant opportunity to score.
It sure was, but the mark of all strikers, after a chance, you still keep putting yourself forward, and in 44 minutes, the Kyogo tap in. Taylor was played down the left. I think it came from to Moy, to then Taylor played down the left. Taylor flashed in a low cross. Maida, thank fuck, missed it. If Maida had contact, it probably would have been a goal just from the angle that he was hitting from. But Maida had a fresh air swipe. He misses it, and Kyogo has a tap in. Great to swipe before the break, and great for Kyogo as well. That's the second goal, or that was the second goal against the Tribute Act. It was fantastic. Everybody was going berserk. The Celtic fans were amazing today. Paddy, what was your thoughts after that goal went in?
Oh, delighted, absolutely delighted, of course, because mate, it's just brilliant. It's just absolutely brilliant. Again, Kyogo just gets into the positions, but it's great attacking play for the wide men. We just keep plugging away. We never stop, and eventually we end up breaking teams down. But again, it was a great delivery in, and Kyogo's just in that right position. Just if you watch him again, he's always on the defender's shoulders. And I mean, there's two of them there, and he still managed to get through. He still managed to find space. I think Kyogo could find space in Sakala's teeth and score a goal.
I think Morelos could find fucking space in Sakala's teeth.
Oh, by the way, listen, I'm going to have to bring this one up. So my boys somewhere watching the new text me away. So I have to tell you all, he was wearing his Celtic top, and he sent me a video saying that Rangers fans won't mess with him, or they'll get that.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Well done.
There you go, wee man. Sorted.
Just reading a wee comment here for Postecoglou. You start every season hoping it's a special season, but we'll enjoy tonight, and it's important we celebrate tonight because the staff and the players, everyone at the football club, have worked hard for this. The supporters too deserve to celebrate the moment, but once we've done that in the right way, we'll focus on next week against St Mirren. I couldn't have even told you we're playing next. We haven't had many off days because we never look too far ahead and never look too far back. That's a good philosophy. And that's why we've been so relentless in our approach. And we're relentless. If you compare and contrast to whenever we played Sevco in the semi-final of the Scottish Cup last year, one commentator made the point that you saw in that game last year, that the longer the game went on, the stronger that they became. But that wasn't really the case today. In the final half hour, although it became a wee bit more hairy, shall we say, and they had a little bit more, a few more chances, we never wilted, we never capitulated. We kept going. We still tried to play our game, and physically, we were not dominated, which is a key. But going into half time, at that point, we were by far the dominant team. Possession-wise, 66 to their 34. We had 9 shots to their 4, 2 shots on target to their 0. Paddy, one of the viewers made a comment about the referee. How would you sum up the referee? The one thing I will say about the referee was roughly in the opening 20 minutes, Morelos jumped into Alistair Johnson. He jumped into him and he won himself a foul. At that point, I was wondering, what way is this going to go? But overall, how would you assess the referee's performance today?
I don't actually think it was as bad as I was expecting. Obviously, there were a couple of times, like I'm sure it was Morelos who it might have actually been that tackle you're talking about. He jumped into somebody and then he fouled somebody literally like about 30 seconds after it. And generally, you do that in a game at that point during the game, then you end up with a booking. There been no booking, but listen, it's one of the games. We didn't have to rely on penalties. We didn't have to rely on VAR, which is a massive plus. We went out there and we beat them fair and square. The only one thing that I will mention about the referee is that he got that ladder call absolutely spot on. That was
embarrassing, wasn't it?
Embarrassing, mate. Embarrassing's probably the right word for it. I see why he done it, but at the same time, we don't want to see that. So, so the referee got the right call. Deserved booking. Aye, that was the only slight on the day for me. Was seeing that.
You should take lessons for Kent, because Kent can dive perfectly well and win the foul. As a Bada, he's just not as experienced as what Kent is in that field of play. Going into the second half, at that point, I was thinking, what tactical changes are Sevco going to make? Because you're expecting a reaction. We were the overwhelmingly dominant team in the first half. I'm expecting a reaction. I'm expecting some tactical changes from them. Maybe even a change at half-time, albeit we're only 1-0 up at that point. And I'm wondering how we guard against that. But to settle any nerves, we get a goal on the 55th minute. And saying that Kent did hit the post right after the break. But we get a goal in the 55th minute. A Hugo tap-in, another tap-in. Moy threaded it through to Hatate in the box. Hatate squares it to Kyogo. And Kyogo, although Barisic is all over him, he still manages to bundle into the box. So maybe not the tidiest of a finish, but it was great play from Celtic. And I want to say, Starfelt started off that attack because he stepped up and intercepted play. If you remember that point, the replays don't show that. Starfelt started off that attack. So fair play to the big man. And another goal for Kyogo. He seems to love these finals. What were you thinking at that point? Were you thinking game over?
Aye, I think I'd went for a 3-1 scoreline. So I was expecting him to score at some point. But I thought we would have went on and really took advantage of being 2 up. But it's just these games that, it's not as straight and as simple as that, is it? There's always a twist in the tail.
Well, sure is. James, you were at the game. How you doing? Tell us about it.
I don't know what I've come on for. I've hardly any voice left. Oh, brilliant, mate. Brilliant. First off, see, to be fair, I'm never ever confident going into these games. As I say, on Tuesday, I'm always up and down all the week. I think we're going to get done 5-0, then I think we're going to do them 5-0. See, the minute I seen their team today, I knew they were there for the taking. Every one of the players that he signed in January left on the bench, so they were there for the taking. It's a team with better 4, and the first half up until the goal was the exact same as the game at Ibrox. We were in absolute cruise control. Obviously, we hadn't scored up to the first goal. Absolute cruise control under no pressure at all. Second goal essentially kills it. And then we had a wee kind of shaky, maybe 10-15 minutes after they scored, when I just felt it was coming. I thought they were going to equalise, but after that wee 10 minutes passed, it was just fucking... We could have won it 4 or 5 and then, but the chances Haksabanovic missed, and I've kept myself good all day because I wanted to see the boxing, but again, Monday Club, here we come, man.
Get in there, wee man. By the way, I was actually going to ask you that, right? So obviously, for the first whistle, I thought we kind of stepped half a wee bit, but I don't think that was a case of them being in our faces. I think that we kind of deployed so that we could see how they were going to set up at first, because we weren't putting the traps as we usually are. But we kind of sat back and almost countered them for a wee bit. So it was as if like we were saying to them, right, do you know what? Come on, show us what you've got.
Mate.
Somebody got a bong in the background. It sounds like a bong.
No, it was my tumble dryer going on.
Do you know, think up to that first goal, though, it was very similar to the game at Ibrox, and it felt as if we didn't need to break sweat.
With my pants in it.
It's a private joke. Sorry, what was that, mate? James, what did you say there?
No, so I just said, think up until the first goal, it was very similar to the game at Ibrox, where it felt as if we didn't really need to break sweat to kind of, I know it was nothing each, but you never felt we were under any pressure or any threat. Starfelt had a couple of shaky moments, that was kind of par for the course. So, but I thought, honestly, apart from a wee 10 minutes, I thought I was comfortable can be.
That's what I'm saying. Like for the start of the game, we kind of it was like a boxing match, right? So if you're the obviously the better boxer, you're standing there and you're sizing up your opponent and you're seeing what they're going to bring to the fight. Do you know what I mean? And to be fair, we were ducking and dodging and everything. Kept possession well. We stretched the game. They were trying to come into it, and they just had absolutely no joy. You could see right away that for me, I saw that the defence was really calm, calculated. They were stonewall focused. I thought Greg Taylor was absolutely brilliant. Starfelt, I actually think he had a really, really, really good game. Again, a couple of brain farts, but that's to be expected. Big Carter Vickers is a unit as per usual. The guy just never lets you down. You've got no worries whatsoever. And as I say, Alistair Johnson, I thought had an absolutely tremendous game. All aspects.
Mm-hmm. Carter Vickers. Sorry, mate, when you go.
No, you go, mate. Sorry.
No, all I was going to say is, I think it was only a couple of minutes in, Carter Vickers went up for a challenge with Morelos, and Morelos got the better of him. And then after that, it was as if it just flicked a switch, and he was ragdolling them the rest of the game.
What do you guys think of Jota tonight, or Jota this afternoon? He came off, I don't know, on the hour mark perhaps. What do you think?
I thought he was poor. He did a couple of good things, but again, he kind of struggled to get into the game. But I love that one where he Meg? I think he nutmegged Kent, didn't he, at one point?
Yes. That
was good. That was really, really good. That was a wee bit of flamboyancy for him. Something that we kind of spoke about the other day there before the game. He's grew with confidence the last few games. You can see him trying the trickery and try to get involved and make things happen. And to be fair, he did try that today, but I don't know. It was a bit of a strange one because we didn't really get any kind of fluency for the two wingers. But listen, they did their job to an extent. I think Maeda as well. His job today wasn't so much ripping the arse out of Tavernier, but it was to press him back. It was to be an absolute pest. It was to get involved, keep on the shoulder, keep them wary of his movement. So in that respect, they did all right. But listen, that is what it is.
I think Jota that sometimes you go at yourself, just that's one step over or just too many, just get the ball in, you wish you'd put the ball in the box a wee bit sooner at times. Like sometimes it's one step too far and then he loses the ball kind of thing. That's my only gripe with Jota.
Joe Hart, I felt Joe Hart a couple of times he was punching the ball rather than catching the ball. Maybe a couple of times his kicks were a wee bit wavered, but what I liked was sometimes during the game he was just leathering it up the park. Even if it went out, rather than persisting with the passing out from the back, whenever we were getting possession on us, whenever we were getting pressed. I'll give Joe Hart a pass for today. I wouldn't blame him on the goal. He could have made that a wee bit of an easier afternoon for us, but overall, I would give him a pass. Paddy, are you disagreeing with me?
No, absolutely not. He did his job. I was actually really happy to see them fanning about at the back as much because it can lead to slip up. It's not the place where you want to be on the Hampden pitch in a cup final. So in that respect, we did gear away possession a wee bit by lumping up the park, but it kind of worked because we didn't make any glaring mistakes that kind of maybe led to a goal.
And whenever we made the substitutions, James, whenever Tati and Moy, who came off, they'd been brilliant in that opening hour. Whenever they came off, we brought on the likes of O'Reilly and Iwata, which was an interesting one. What did you think of the change in quality that those guys kind of presented?
I think the changes probably, I say, swung it back in our favour. Not that it was ever completely out of our favour, but as I say, after they scored, did that wee kind of 5-10 minutes, after we scored the second, did that wee kind of 5-10 minute spell where they scored and then they were kind of in the ascendancy. I think you could see as the game was going on, Hatate more so than Moy, they were maybe kind of starting to tire a wee bit. So I get them off, get the subs on. What I had one, I think it might have been his first touch. He tried a kind of Hollywood ball out the wing and he just kicked the ball out the park. But apart from that, I thought I can't really fault any of the subs today. Haksabanovic, when he came on as well, I know obviously no mentioned him, but I thought he was. I know he misses a kind of basically a couple of sitters, but I thought he was really good when he came on for the runs he was making, getting in behind them and catching them on the break towards the end as well. But no, overall, I don't think I could really fault anybody today.
One comment I want up here. I like it. Really like it. When the Huns look each other in the eyes in key moments and in the dressing room, they each see losers and they don't back in the box mind the old unbridgeable. What does this sow seeds of doubt in their ranks? And whenever they're talking about the rebuild under Beale for next season, they've failed at the first hurdle today. A lot of their fans would have been getting behind them. Momentum, key thing in football. So what does this do in terms of sowing seeds of doubt? Does it make people think Beale might not really be all they had thought he was? And especially in the media as well, which kind of changes the narrative well, keeps us top dogs. So do you think everything works in our favour today?
Andy, you're a big fan of Michael Beale, mate, so you take us away.
Aye. No, I don't think it's going to change it in the media. They're always going to praise him no matter what. It always has been and it always will be like that. What I think it will do is it's stopping their momentum. This is their first defeat as him being manager. Something they've not tasted against their biggest rivals, which is hard to take. So he's going to need to pick his team up for the next game, because the last thing he needs is for any kind of doubt creeping into his squad or his team with the games remaining in the league, because then they could start dropping points and then it could start getting embarrassing, because we're just a machine that's unstoppable, in my opinion. And there's nobody that can touch us. We're steamrolling everybody. All right, it's a wee bit closer today, but we should have scored more. So when it comes to them, their confidence is going to take a bit of a bashing here. So we'll see how they react in their next game. But who cares what happens to them anyway? I don't care if they keep him, if they get rid of him, who they bring in. I'm not interested, because if we concentrate on what we're doing, it doesn't matter. They could bring in whoever they want and it's still not going to make any difference.
Nice one. James, I noticed that you're on a full bottle tonight. I'm glad that you're doing that. No day for half measures.
Exactly, mate. Not at all. Decided late on Friday that I'd put in for Monday off. Probably one of the better decisions I've made recently. So, right, long may it last.
Good man. How was that today?
Here's one for Mr. Kev Moon.
You better believe this is Cheers trophy. Oh, the other.
There you go. That's the kind of rubbish that we've had to the kind of rubbish that I've had to read all week for the media. It's been the feel good factor for the blue side of Glasgow. Everything's been rose in the garden. You've had this. You've had Fashion Sakala shouting and bawling about his village in Zambia's or cheering on them in the cup final, as if that makes a fucking difference. Brian Laudrup's been in the press shouting, if you want to beat Celtic, then you press Starfelt. Well, do you know what? See to every single one of them. Get it, Ridgeys.
Absolutely.
Best one I heard today was, who cares what the fuck Brian Laudrup thinks? He wasn't even the best player in his bunk bed.
Hi, James. What was the atmosphere like today?
Good, mate. Really good. Obviously, that week, as I say, 10-15 minutes after he scored, I thought they were going to equalise. I'm always a doom and gloom merchant, obviously, as you probably know, but I felt it was coming. But then, as I say, made the subs, and then we started getting our fit in the ball a wee bit more, just playing our fit, and then we come back into it, and as I say, with Haksabanovic, we probably should have scored another couple, but the atmosphere was brilliant, and obviously after the game as well. See, to be fair, I don't know how much it would have showed you on that VIAPLay, but at half time, it was pretty much 15 minutes of just singing. It was non-stop, and the Green Brigade had their fireworks and their bangers and all that. It was really, really good. Half time was probably better than after the game.
I thought the Celtic fans sounded brilliant throughout. I thought they were singing non-stop from here. I was late.
Can I just ask? Sorry, I've not seen anything. What was the display before the game?
No idea.
Ask that too.
Couldn't make it out. In fact, I couldn't make the tournament, but the Rangers one was even worse.
That looked like a Dundee badge with a kind of wee blob or something.
It certainly did. So I don't know what it was. The Celtic one, I noticed it was kind of flames at the bottom. What was at the top? I couldn't make it because VIAPLAY with our footage wasn't very good way kind of showing you.
If anybody in the comments knows if they could decipher the tifos, there's no, please do.
There's a wee comment. Sorry, mate. There's a wee comment for John Coyle down the bottom right, and he's saying, "Talk the talk, but can't walk the walk." Sakala. Now, as everybody will have saw, the kind of flapping for the other side the whole entire week. You know, they've been acting the Billy Big Boss and just basically shout their mouth off that they're going to do this, they're going to do that, they're the best team in the land, they've got the best players, they've got the best this, they've got the best that, blah, 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 blah. All the while, other reports was Ange's going to Leeds and Kyogo's going to Crystal Palace. Do you think that affected them today? That they actually kind of, they tried to use mind tactics off the park, whereas everything that was spoken about by Ange in the media press conferences, sorry, I won't say pressers, the media press conferences, all the talk, and Ange is basically saying, listen, you can say what you want, we'll come out in the park and we'll do our business on the park. Do you think that had any effect on today's outcome?
I think there's something to be said about being the underdogs, and that sometimes it can suit a team. But whenever you come out with phrases and comments like that to us as the other mob, then it ruins whatever psychological edge that you had going for you. I don't. The Rangers players were emotionally weak enough, you know, to be affected by that. But I think Celtic always had a superior psychological edge going into this game. We've been there, we've done it, we've got the t-shirt, we had the upper edge, and we showed it today. Rangers, for one reason or another, falter today. It could have been down to mind games, I don't know.
I think you put yourself under pressure when you come out with comments in the paper like that. I mean, we've seen Celtic players doing it years ago, and the first thing you're like, oh no, just shut up. Because if you're bigging yourself up, you really need to show that. So you're putting more pressure on your team with coming out with comments like that. Especially when you're 9 points behind in the league and you seem to think you're the better team. Facts don't lie, you know. So you can believe whatever you want to believe, but back it up. And if you can't back it up, shut up.
Well, I think one of the things that was quite telling for me was that I could sense a bit of, almost a wee bit of fear for Michael Beale. Obviously, the issue with Chris Sutton. You know, Chris Sutton obviously had said in one of his media jobs. It was after they played Partick Thistle. Obviously, the whole carry on with him getting a goal back to Partick, which was good. Let's be honest, it was a nice gesture. But Chris Sutton turned around and says, "Listen, there's not. I don't think that they would have done that against Celtic, right?" Michael Beale's took it up. He's then started getting personal against Sutton at a time when he should be focusing on the game. He's getting involved in he's starting a bit of tit for tat with Sutton, you know, talking about him being a clown and even the worst player at Chelsea. That kind of thing, you shouldn't be doing that as a manager on the eve of the biggest game of the season thus far. You know what I mean? You should be entirely laser focused. And there you go. To me, it showed a bit of a lack of class, a lack of experience, a lack of focus. You know, that he's taking his eye off the ball and focusing on other things. Whereas Big Ange, nearly 60-year-old, the man, he's just all about the game. Nothing. He spoke about. He's been asked questions about how's your emotions leading up to the game, and he says, "Listen, I'm not here to display emotions. I'm here to lead a team. I'll leave the emotions to the fans because I'm here for them. I'm employed for them to bring them success. You're not hearing that for the other side." Now that's the difference. It's a psychological win for us already coming into this game, and I think we spoke about it on Friday, didn't we, Andy? That everything for the manager, for the captain, for Carter Vickers, everybody that spoke this week on behalf of Celtic. They've said nothing else but the game. They've been asked questions about off the park stuff, and not one of them have retaliated, not one of them have got involved in any spats, verbal rubbish. It's just been all about the game, and they've shut down any questions. So it just tells you everything that you need to know about our squad. And today, I think the performance reflected that.
Did you see Big Sutton's tweet after the game? Hi.
No.
Would you care to tell the masses?
It was something like, I can't remember it word for word, but it was something along the lines of, in fairness to Michael Beale, I've won more than him than a player, but we've won exactly the same amount as managers.
I know that Sutton interviewed Postecoglou for the game. Who interviewed the mole?
It was a lassie, whoever it was.
No idea.
Billy Buds' daughter, because by the way, she's got a face for radio, man.
No, I don't think it was her. I don't think it was her. It wasn't at Coney. Was it at Coney, I think? Maybe. Aye. He's obviously shot himself for Sutton, isn't he?
Fair it is. I don't want to be nasty to the girl, but nah. It's expensive for VIAPLay. It's like $4.99, and that's not really what I want to see.
Do you remember the last time that there was a bit of a kind of verbal altercation in the media with Chris Sutton and a Sevco manager at the time, and it was Pedro Caixinha. And do you remember they were kind of, I'm sure it was on BT Sports, so the guys are stood up in the gantry or whatever you want to call it, and then at least Pedro Caixinha came up and actually tried to have a go at Sutton, but Sutton's obviously schooled him. But the day Michael Beale, as far as I'm concerned, has shut it, he shat it, he's not even went for it. You know, if that was me, and I genuinely thought that somebody was trying to have a pop at me in the media, I would be absolutely delighted to come and have a go at them face to face.
Especially live on the telly when he's right in front of you. It's a perfect opportunity to say what you've got to say, but no, he's not getting the balls.
No, certainly get them all, but he's not got the balls.
Yep.
Yeah, by the way, randomly last night, I think it was, or the night before, I came across this programme. You probably heard it, Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yes.
Dr.
Yes,
Pimple Popper.
My dear wife is a big fan of it, and to the point where I've actually got to say to her, for fuck's sake, that's disgusting, stop watching that.
It's pretty disgusting. I think that it could do wonders for Michael Beale, you know. I just thought of him whenever I saw it. But anyway, Sutton was in the wind-up and doing the interview. He was there for co-commentary. And Craig White Legend, he was saying, Pedro said that he had the best team in Scotland. Speaking of that, a difficult question. Out of the players that played for the tribute act today, would any of them get in our team?
No,
That's the best player.
That's what I was saying earlier, mate. See when that team sheet came out today and you seen their team, they've signed that Cantwell, Raskin, and is there another one or was it just the two? Anyway, that was the two kind of bigger name ones. And as soon as that team sheet came out and it was the same old faces, been there, done it, lost it, that it just doesn't strike any fear into me. And see if I supported them, I would be fuming with the manager because he's been out and signed these players and everybody's saying he needs to get his players to suit his style of play, and he's went for the same old tried and failed, and just went with it again. Who are, at half time when they're going in 1-0 down, just conceded after extra time, who are they looking to? Are they looking at Tavernier, Captain Fantastic? It's won one trophy in about 40 years, or two trophies in about 40 years. Sorry, doing him a disservice there. I just don't get it.
The only one
I'd say that one. Sorry, guys. I'd say that I'd say that one of my chats earlier on with some of the pals, and a couple of them were actually going to the game to go and sit in the dark side. And as soon as I saw the lineups, I actually said, and I was being totally honest. I says, our bench looks stronger than their starting 11. Mm-hmm. And obviously, as James says, like when they got to the hour mark and they've started making the substitutions first, and it was Cantwell, Raskin, and Ryan Jack that was coming on. Now, see when I saw them coming up on the screen, again, same as James, absolutely no fear whatsoever. And then I'm seeing O'Reilly coming on with who came on with O'Reilly? O'Reilly's coming on. You know he's going to be able to keep some possession. He's going to be able to do something. Is another guy that we're looking forward to seeing a lot more of. And I think he got well involved. He held the ball up. He was physical as well. So again,
he get booked for his very first challenge. He get booked.
Aye. And somebody actually mentioned that in the comment earlier on when Gav was talking about the referee's performance. As soon as O came on, that was him. He get booked, but yet there was plenty of their players still jumped in elbowing. But again, like that's what Ange's built. James is talking about what Beale's building. He's brought these guys in, Cantwell, Raskin. Look at what Ange's built. Look at what Ange can bring on. Ange can bring on O'Reilly. He can bring on O. He can bring on Awata, which again for me is another. It's another evolution in his squad that he can now see that he can't just play one single way. He's got to bring on a defensive player to show things up at a time when the other team can maybe start coming at you when they're trying desperately to get a goal back while we're still holding the lead. That's something that we've saw sometimes for Ange that's no happened. We talk about the need for a defensive midfielder. We talk the need for a bit of steel. He's done that today. He's brought on a guy who's defensive minded. He's brought on a guy to kind of take control in the midfield. So that's key decisions in a game that shows the difference in class between the two managers. One's got experience and one's got a big fat mouth. That's the difference.
Were you concerned at all at any point that we were starting to hold the ball in the corner? We have about 10 minutes to go in normal time.
I think that's standard for 10 minutes in a cup final, isn't it? It doesn't matter if you're 3-0 or 4-0 up, you're still here.
See that as well. We
to be fair, I mean,
the worst team in the world at that, like in the history of football. I think we've done it once at Ibrox under Rodgers. Don't get me wrong. I think we held it there for about the last half an hour. I'm sure it was Eddie. But see, apart from that, we must be the worst team in the world that try to do that.
I felt that near the end we were becoming a little bit cute, a little bit streetwise, and like not getting the ball immediately for a throw in, for a free kick, taking it immediately. And you'd be raging at your pal, raging at your players if you did that. We did kind of slow the game down a little bit towards the end. However, you could have been far more clinical in those counter-attacks. So there was 3 counter-attacks right at the end. O'Reilly, he had the last chance where he hit it towards McGregor's near post. He telegraphed it, but there was 2 chances before then. One was Haksabanovic, and the other one, I don't know if it was O or if it was Haksabanovic, but 3 good chances. Well, we should have scored one of them at least. It's magical to beat them in a cup final. It's even better whenever it's a higher scoreline. We'll take 2-1 today. Paddy and James, I need to hand it to you guys because McGinty said 3-1, I said 3-0, but Paddy and James, both you said 2-1. I think well done, boys. Andy, did you have a prediction before today?
Yeah, and Friday on the CSP, I predicted 3-1 to Celtic. So, and I was going for 3 weeks in a row getting the prediction right. So that run lasted long.
3 weeks is better than 1 week. My luck is terrible for predicting scorelines. So, guys, happy days. And Postecoglou, that's his 3rd trophy as manager of Celtic now, Paddy. The term legend gets thrown away far too frivolously, and I would not say that about Postecoglou. But the longer he stays, the longer he's building a dynasty. What's the future under Postecoglou?
Well, just exactly what you said there. Dynasty. He said that. He says, listen, I'm here. I'm trying to build a team that will be here long after I'm away. Do you know what I mean? So this isn't a guy that's here just to create something for the short term. He's here trying to build a dynasty, if you want to call it that. Everything that we hear off the park, what's getting done up at Lennoxtown, what's getting done with the players, what's getting done with this and that. This is something that's going to stretch for years. I don't know how many years right enough, but certainly it's going to stretch for a while. Is Ange a legend yet? Aye, well, he's put himself into legendary folklore at Celtic. He's won competitions as a manager. But listen, he's certainly, if he continues on this trend, he will be. And I've got absolutely no doubt that he's going to be here for at least another season after this season. I think now might be the time that we actually show the world what intentions by. Do you know what? Saying, listen, Ange, there's a 4-year contract, mate. Take it.
Andy, the managers that you've witnessed for Celtic, where does Postecoglou rank so far?
He's certainly, I would say, probably up there with Martin O'Neill. I would say maybe not quite. Martin got us obviously to a European final, but in the time that I can remember, obviously get Big Billy and that, and centenary year and stuff like that, great memories. But I would say he's hanging on the coattails of Martin O'Neill. I think I can't see he's getting to a European final. Don't get me wrong. I think it's different days now, but I think he'll get his success in Europe, as in progression, going a wee bit further. Fingers crossed anyway. But I would say maybe just behind Martin O'Neill. I know Brendan Rodgers, so we've all got a kind of bitter taste in him for the way he left, but he was a good manager. We had really good times with him, memorable times. But I would put Ange above him, just when you look at the potential that he's got and the things that the amount of trophies that he could win at a club if he stays here.
Good point, James. Postecoglou, will he get judged though in Europe? These days, these nights domestically are fantastic. They'll live long in the memory, and obviously you were there today. You won't forget that in a hurry. But Europe, is that one of the main barometers will he'll be judged upon?
Aye, but I think he knows that as well. Obviously, he spoke about it, and when he speaks about his progression, it's always the Champions League he's speaking about. So I think he knows that as well. Obviously, Rodgers, I mean, it's hard to improve in perfection. Invincible treble, or quadruple treble. Obviously, he was a big part of it. But the one thing when we talk about Rodgers, and we always get back to it, is his failings in Europe. Just basically trying to play how we'd play against St Mirren, how we'd play against Hearts, how we'd play against Hibs, how we'd play against basically Bayern Munich, and that was the shortcomings. But I think Ange is streetwise enough to obviously know that, and that's how we'll be looking at it as well. Obviously, what we've done today, we are the best team in Scotland. That's obviously no in doubt. So I wouldn't go as far to say as expected. Obviously, it's always nice, but if we really want to kick on and kind of punch above our weight, then we need to be making an impact in Europe.
Mm-hmm. Another thing is Postecoglou actually wore a suit today. He left the jumper back at home. The guy looks rather dapper, I would say. He didn't have.
He looked a lot smarter than Beale. Beale had that daft jumper hang on. I thought he doesn't look very staunch the way he's come out, does he?
He's let their standards down there if he didn't have a suit on.
Yeah. That's what they'll be blaming for losing the game. Him no being suited and booted properly.
It was the lack of brown brogues, wasn't it, Andy?
Yep.
Anyway, guys, a fantastic day, an absolute fantastic. Who's actually on the bevy? James, obviously you are. I'm having a few Coronas, but I'm working tomorrow. Andy, are you?
I'm on the Coca-Cola. I'm going to go to work tomorrow. I'm away down to Birmingham tomorrow, so I've got an early start. No drink for me.
My condolences. Well, at least you'll be able to remember today very clearly. Unlike James, he looks as if he's on a mission tonight.
Yep.
Right. To the viewers, thank you so much. We're going to wrap up for today. Hope you enjoyed the SCFA. I know that there's another cup final down south of the border, Man U and Newcastle. I hoped that Newcastle would make a better attempt, but it's almost done. They're 2-0 down. The trophy hunt goes on for Newcastle, but do we give a shit? No, I don't think we could.
Well, I'm certainly not a fan, but get it up, you Eddie Howe.
Yeah, I don't like any of the two of them, so I'm no bothered.
Right. To the viewers, thanks again. Okay, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your comments. For James, for Andy, for Paddy, myself, and the Jungle Gyms, thank you. God bless.
Come on.